Today's juggling or hand-eye coordination video is going to need only 2 tennis balls. If you can only find one, that's fine. The second one will be for a challenge anyway. But 2 tennis balls or a ball that'll bounce, a racquetball, something like that. You don't want to use juggling balls because they're usually filled with sand and won't bounce, much like a beanbag. So grab 2 tennis balls. One is fine if you can only find one. I'm going to do this video with you today with some music from Sam and Will. Thank you both. And so you'll have the monitor somewhere in the shade, somewhere where it won't overheat. You could be inside if it's okay with your parents, somewhere where it'll bounce. I'm obviously outside, and we'll do this together. So have your monitor in the shade, your device in the shade, if you are outside. All right, again, most of this is only going to need 1 tennis ball. The second one is going to be more for challenges later. Just to start, just to warm up, we're going to toss this ball back and forth here, and then you'll hear me saying to get it a little higher as we go. First song, again, thank you to Sam and Will. This one's from Sam. So we're going to start with little low tosses back and forth here. Keeping your eye on the ball. And this is just warming up our hands right now. Getting ready to do all sorts of fun activities today. And if you want to start to get that ball a little higher, that's fine, but nothing much over your head. All right, now go to one hand only. Doesn't matter which, because we'll switch to that other one in a second. So one hand only, and again, upwards right now. If you drop the ball, no worries, just pick it back up. Knees are always bent, so if you do need to move for that ball, you can. Eyes on that ball. All right, switch to your other hand. I started with my left, so now I'm tossing with my right. Switch to your other hand. If you're watching the video, you'll notice my head moved too, because before I was watching the ball one way. Now the ball's on the other side of my body. You always want to be looking at the ball. All right, catch that ball. Now we're going to take that tennis ball and go downwards on one side of your body just by bouncing and catching. So keep it on one side, and again, doesn't matter what hand you start with because we're going to switch in a second. We're going to have music by Will now. Thank you, Will, for the music. So on one side of your body only, bouncing that ball, keeping your hand and your palm facing downwards so that you're catching the ball downwards. You're not letting it bounce above your hand and then turning your palm up, but you're catching it downwards. Keep that hand facing down. You don't want the ball bouncing up and then your hand facing up as you catch. Keep that hand facing down. All right, now we're going to switch to the other hand. I started with my left. I'm a lefty. I started with my left. Now I'm going to move to my right. Whichever hand you started with, switch to your other hand and start. Again, your head shifts the other way because you're keeping an eye on what you're doing. Keep that hand facing downward. You don't want the ball bouncing above your hand and then catching it upwards. You want your hand facing downwards and trying to catch that ball downwards. All All right, here's that 2-ball challenge if you want, where you're gonna drop and try to catch at the same time. Up to you if you want to try it. If you don't want to do that, you're just gonna go back to one hand, and then you can switch to the other in the middle. If you want to try it, go for it. 2 tennis balls, you're bouncing them at the same time, and ideally your hands are facing downwards when you catch. Keep going. Knees are bent. Keep your sight of line straight down, so you're using your peripheral vision to see both tennis balls bouncing up. As the song changes, thank you, Sam, for this track. Thank you, Will, for the last track. Missed them both on that one. Gotta focus, too. The closer the tennis balls, the easier it is to do this. The further away, the harder. There we go. Starting to get into a little rhythm. All right, put one of those tennis balls back away. You're gonna just go side to side now, like this, hands facing downwards. I know I have a little shift in my body too. You're welcome to do that as well. But hands face downwards still. You don't want to catch it coming up like that. So go ahead and start if you haven't. Hands facing downwards. Keep going. All right, great job. If you want to try that 2-ball challenge going sideways now, you can. If you want to stick with one going back and forth, that's fine too. So the tennis balls will bounce and cross, and you'll catch it with the opposite hands. Obviously, you'll need to figure out which one's crossing in front, which one's crossing behind. Go ahead and try if you haven't already. And this is only if you want that extra challenge. It is not easy. If you don't want that extra challenge, you're still doing one tennis ball back and forth, hand to hand, which is perfectly fine. Either one. Catch it with your hand facing downwards still. I got a little lazy on my last one and caught it up here. Still want to try catching downwards. Even if it's not successful, that's what we're trying to do. And that's what we're trying to learn, is catching downwards. So keep that hand, that palm facing downwards. All right, catch those tennis balls. You can put one away again. We're gonna make a pattern now, and again, thank you, Sam, for the music here. This is one of his tracks. We're gonna make a pattern. Bouncing up, crossing up, bouncing up. All right, so watch it again. Keeps it on one side, cross, this side, cross. Here, cross. Here, cross. All right, if you haven't started, go ahead and start. So you're bouncing it on one side, catch, cross, bouncing it on that side and crossing, making a little pattern. Again, this is a little bit of downwards juggling, but also great for your hand-eye coordination. All right, if you want to try that challenge of 2-ball, downwards catch, cross catch, downwards catch, and then you're keeping that pattern going. Again, it's up to you. If you want to stay with one tennis ball, that's perfectly fine. If you're going to bring that second one in play, go for the challenge. Again, the closer the tennis balls are when they bounce, the easier it is to keep track of them. The further away, the harder. Keep going. Ah, this is one of Lisa's tracks, actually. Thank you, Lisa. Keep that pattern going. Again, great for your hand-eye coordination. And a little fun. Something new to do. All right. Catch those tennis balls. Last thing you're going to do is a little bit of a free choice with them. Anything we've done today. So you can go back to the beginning where you're one tennis ball back and forth and a little higher. You can go back to one side, the other side, crossing them. You can go back to 2 tennis balls and try that challenge. Anything we've done, go ahead and try. Or do a mixture of everything. That's what I'm going to do, a little mixture of everything. If you haven't started, start please. I'll switch into something else. Up to you if you want to stay with what you're doing or switch to something else. During this kind of free choice of our activities, of what we've done. Remember, if it's going downwards, your hand faces down. If it's going upwards, your hands are facing up. All right. Catch those tennis balls. We are all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you had a good time. Stay active.